Well, the short answer is I think there's an awful lot the British expertise and British companies can do. If you look at the nature of British commercial involvement in the oil and gas sector at the moment, it is very much in providing that high-end technical support, pioneering engineering excellence, helping the K companies and the Kuwaiti oil sector maximize the efficiency and sustainability of their operations going forward. And as the Kuwaiti oil sector particularly looks to try and expand into wider petrochemicals production, or indeed looking more broadly into renewables, there's a huge amount of technical know-how, innovation in the UK economy, which, because it's historically been so open, and where we have elsewhere in the Gulf, but also across the rest of the world, you've seen British companies, British academic institutions, research institutions in the forefront of much of the work on energy efficiency, on renewables, of a whole series, whether not just solar, photovoltaic, but also wind, wave power, etc. So that's one obvious area. But I think the key point I would say is that because of the breadth and maturity of the UK-Kuwait relationship, it's important for us, but for Kuwait, to look at the challenge of economic diversification from beginning to end. And because of the number of Kuwaiti students who are studying in UK universities, because of the interflow of people, skilled specialists, engineers, technicians, consultants, project managers, etc., coming from the UK to Kuwait and vice versa. We should be looking from an end-to-end process to think, okay, well, how can we help? Because this economic, the new Kuwait, the Vision 2035, isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to take many years. It's going to take a lot of hard work. And Kuwait will want to draw on the support of all of its partners. But from a UK perspective, we're determined to try and play our part as fully as possible. And I'm confident that we can do so. I think the important thing is to start with an objective and dispassionate assessment of Kuwait's existing strengths and resources and position. And for me, the particular strength of Kuwait's existing oil sector, the advantage that Kuwaitis enjoy through high levels of education, a broad understanding, they're well-traveled, they're prudent and shrewd investors. It will be joining those things up. So you're bringing together an increasingly well-educated, well-trained workforce with targeted support and expertise from overseas, building on existing strengths and identifying a niche for Kuwait so that you're not setting yourselves up in direct competition with others who may already have got a head start in a particular part. Now, of course, Kuwait's geographical situation, Kuwait's relationship, the respect that it enjoys within the Gulf, but not just amongst the GCC, but more broadly in the region, the lead that His Highness the Emir has taken as a statesman, putting Kuwait on the map on the humanitarian side, as a mediator. I think these all have a role to play. And I'm quite sure that, as Kuwait inches towards the 2035 vision, even if the reality changes a bit, that they will be able to find a way of making a success of it. The GCC and the Gulf collectively for the UK is of enormous importance, both historical, current and future. And that, of course, has a major economic dimension to it as the oil-producing region that it is. But it also has other elements to it in terms of geostrategic concerns, regional security, etc. For us and for the UK here in Kuwait, I think the real opportunity and the importance is to make sure that we are making the most of a partnership that goes back many, many years, where the level of understanding between the UK and Kuwait is as close as it is, where many Kuwaitis regard Britain as a second home. They may even have a second home there, and where we can play our part in helping Kuwait continue to maintain security and stability, but continue its economic development, which is a key part of that. The fall in the oil price obviously plays a part, because a significant element of those figures in terms of Kuwaiti exports to the UK are made up of oil and related hydrocarbons, petrochemicals. So the fall in the oil price has obviously had an impact on that. We need to do more. We need to keep working at it. But the important thing, as I said earlier on, I think is about increasing our market share, making sure that we're realizing the opportunities that are there, and making sure that the trajectory of trade volumes continues upward, hopefully as fast as possible, but continues upward. And as long as it's not plateauing or declining, then I hope we'll be doing broadly the right thing. Ultimately, what makes business and partnership work are the relationships. And so I'm very keen to make sure that we as the UK continue to value, appreciate and support the relationships that are already there from our Kuwaiti partners. And I'm determined to try and encourage as many British businesses and colleagues in government and elsewhere to realise what Kuwait has to offer, because it has a lot to offer. And I think it's in all of our interest to strengthen that partnership as best we can.